right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Pyware Night School, Episode 11. We're doing the version 10 feature overview in honor of Pi Day coming up on Saturday, March 14, 3.14. We're postponing the traditional tools until next week. Wanted to basically touch on all the new features in version 10 for those of you who are wanting to upgrade during Pi Day. Gonna get everybody logged in here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. Wonderful spring break if you're on spring break. Okay, let's just dive in. Again, episode 11 of Night School, version 10 feature overview. The first feature we're going to cover is the Pyware portal. We've added the Pyware portal to allow you to manage your own licenses. This is where you're going to be able to activate any license you have. You're able to share licenses with other people at your school. Let's say if you have multiple band directors, you can add the users here. You can also create groups to share files. Let's log in right quick. It's a full-featured web dashboard here. You're going to have information here shown on your dashboard, just notices from Pyware headquarters. You have your accounts section, which is going to house your licenses. As you can see, I have my Dustin account here. It shows that I have a 3D Professional. I'm able to download my software from the 3D Professional link. It shows how many seats you have available. It also shows you the computers that are currently using the software. And you have two types of sessions. You have an offline and online. An offline session basically checks out a license to that computer so it can be used while not connected to the internet. The online license allows the computer to be used on anything, essentially. Basically, when you open the program in an online session, it's going to grab a license from your account that is available. Once you close the software, it's going to release that license back to the account so it can be used on a different computer. The offline license will be checked out until you remove it from this terminal here. If you have multiple accounts, you're going to be able to set a favorite account, which is basically the account that's going to be logged in each time if you choose to remember your login information. You have the Manage section, which allows you to manage your contact information, and also gives you the ability to manage your users. I am not an administrator on this account. Let me log into that. Pull up my Dustin account. Choose to manage my account here. I'm going to be able to add users to this account. Anybody that is an administrator is able to add users to the account or remove users from the account. The authorized user is a user that is able to use any license that you have deemed on the account. And you can add and remove users here. To add a user, you simply enter the name. Alright, I'm going to add Amanda here. I'm going to set her as an authorized user. Going to be my professional account here. I'm going to choose to add the user. And it's going to add that user added to the account. It will, if the user does not have a account set up in the Pyware portal, it's going to give them instructions on how to set those up. Once you, if you are purchasing this weekend for Pi Day, you'll be receiving an email with a activation key. You'll follow the instructions to create a portal account. What you'll do is log into that portal account as we are here. Go to Accounts, choose Add Key. You'll be prompted to enter the key that is included in the email. Once you add the key, then you'll walk through the setup process to finish creating your account. You'll be prompted for address information to be registered. You have Groups section. It allows you to create groups so that you can share files online. See, I've got my beta group. I can add members manually here, or provide a membership key that they can type in the Join Group section. They're able to do that. You're able to upload files, lock them for you, or to prevent them from being deleted. You can download those files. You can also send group announcements. Basically anything listed here is going to be sent out to all members of the group via email, as well as you're able to see it on the group announcements board. That's a quick overview of the Pyware portal. Let's jump over right quick to 3D and go through some new features that are in version 10. All right. So when you open up the version 10, it's going to prompt you to log in. And once logged in, it's going to have your license information listed here. As you can see here, I am part of the Pyware beta testers license, and I have an offline session here, so I'm able to use this version offline whenever I need to. One of the biggest features that we've added for design purposes is the sketch tool. Alright, and the sketch tool is enabled in the upper right hand corner here. Let me just resize my screen a little bit. You've got the sketch functionality that is able to be toggled on and off here. This gives you the ability to create shapes that actually are not using performers, they're using sketch points. So you can sketch out forms to be used later on. So at this point I can save this and move forward and just draw my hit sets, and then I can continue on and start writing the drill. Say I wanted to add some performers here. I can select my performers that I want to add to my new arc. I choose my sketch tool. It's going to automatically apply those performers, equally spacing them on the arc. I also have an option to apply the performers to the sketch points, so I can only add the number of performers that I have listed based on the sketch points here. And this is perfect for creating sketches of blocks. We added the functionality in version 10.03 to create sketch libraries, where you're able to save sketch libraries of different sketches for future use. So if we wanted to create a set of blocks that we use commonly, we can do that. You can create a new sketch library or open existing one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my cover down block sketch library. Okay. Open it up here, and I can toggle through the sketch library that I've created and apply any of those sketches to any portion of my drill. And then I would be able to add any performers to this. This is very beneficial because you're able to create commonly used shapes to be used at any point in time. So during the off season, this is a perfect time to go through and create a sketch library for any common shapes. Or if you do block letters, you can actually do sketches of block letters, or if you do a pre-game, we have the ability to import an entire drill file as a sketch. You would be able to create a sketch file right quick. Let me open a sample drill that we can import. Let's see. Is there anything here? Just open a file here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to my sketch manager, a sketch library manager. I'm going to create a new sketch library file entitled 2020 pregame. 20 pregame sketch. I'm going to choose to import all of my sets. Alright. And now I have my 2020 pregame sketch file. I'll just create a new blank file that we're going to start adding to. So now I have a blank file. I'm going to go ahead and enter a block, let's say my attendance block here. I can then label my performers with my new roster. And then I can go to my sketch library and I can now paste my sketches in. So I have my opening set here. I've got 149 sketch points in this. Apply this here. And now I can start picking and choosing who I want to add to my sketch. So let's say I want to cut these to a part here. I can say I want to add this line of performers here. I can grab each rank, and it's evenly spacing those performers. So I'm able to redraw my, let's see, I want this to be one shape. I can replot my pregame or drill. If I am rewriting a drill, I'm able to rewrite and replot my drill very quickly with different numbers of performers. And we add a report of sketch mode enabling by default. If you open a tool, this has been patched in a pre-release version. If you open a tool and choose accept without actually entering performers, that is defaulting sketch mode to on. That we've had that reported, and that is now patched, as you can see here in this test version. Okay, let's just add a couple of more performers here just to give you an example. And you can also go in and manually edit your sketch files. So I was coming in and adjusting the grouping of my sketches on the fly here. I've cut apart a couple of sketches, and you can do that just like you use performers. You can also edit the sketch file directly, so I'm going to just say open my sketch file, my 2020 pregame. As you can see here, I have my sketch file that I'm pulling from. It's going to have each of the sketch pages in here. And it's going to show groupings on how those are grouped. You can actually come in here and clean up those groupings to make it a little bit easier, especially if you're going to be using this each year. It'll make it easier year after year. And you can also come in here and add additional sketches. You can add additional sketch pages through the sketch page editor here. It allows you to insert pages. So I'm going to insert another 4 pages at the end of the file. And now I have additional 4 blank sketch pages here. That's a real quick overview of this sketch tool. We do have a full night school video on the sketch tool as well. If you have any questions, please post them. We'd be happy to go over them as well. Let's move on here. Pull back up our sample file. Alrighty. Alright. Another thing that we've added is a new function to the arrow tool. I'm going to create a pathway here. We've added, it's a combination of a visual setting as well as a arrow functionality. We've added the ability to see the actual pathway of your performers. You can enable this in the upper right hand corner. This is going to show and hide the paths of the selected performers. We've added the ability to create arrows from those pathways, making it much easier to show the direction of movement for curved paths. Previously you would have to create an arrow freehand, and that wasn't necessarily the speediest process. So we've added that ability to make it much more flexible for you. We've added in a new functionality for creating wedges into the clone function. Let's take a look here. Get rid of our sample. All of the tools that have the clone functionality in it now have the ability to create wedges. Let's say I'm going to clone it 9 times here. We have the radial clone, and this is added to the linear clone. So I've created a clone 9 times here. This box will remove a number of performers incrementally, starting from the end all the way back. So let's say I want to remove 1 performer each line. I'm able to have this drop off created. I can then adjust this to create a wedge or a triangle of any type. This can also be used in any of the curvilinear drawing tools. So I want to clone this as well. My linear clone dropping off 1 at a time. And I am able to have this dropped off, or I can go additional, let's say 2 instead of 3. So it gives you the ability to create dropped off forms. Very quick and easily. We have new information that can be added to the count track at the bottom. This was added in your, I believe it is, here we go, ease of access under the count track. You're able to see the audio time on the count track. You can also toggle it to be either the title or the measures. Let's say I wanted to set my measures on, or my title here. I can come in and enter titles on this. So I want to do rehearsal marks in the title. As you can see now, in the slot that you previously had the audio sync, you're now able to see the titles here. And I was using that for rehearsal markers, so that makes it easy to jump to a specific location. And you're able to toggle that depending on which information you would like to see. Again, that is in your application options. We're going to toggle that to measures. Let's enter that information right quick. 0, say 1 to 4. And I have that information now displayed here. Okay, we have also added in the new Real View Asset Store. You're able to download custom assets that have been created. You can also request to have assets created. We do have a charged service for that. For an example, we've just added new taiko drums. You can see a preview of that here. All you need to do is choose to download this. It's going to then download the file to your computer, and you are now able to locate that in the Performer Props tool under Custom Prop. I've got my taiko drum here. And now we have our custom prop imported. And these are custom modeled props instead of one of the standard shapes and applying a texture to it. We've also we continue adding props to this based on requests, as well as anybody that would like to have something added directly for themselves. We are going to be adding many more props over the next couple of months prior to design season as well. Those of you who are coming up to the version 10, we have removed the interactive version, and we have split the features between basic and professional. So the basic now has the access to the production sheet, so you're able to enter all of your information to the production sheet and have that applied to any text box templates, as well as printed at the bottom of the chart. And that was a widely requested feature when we are transitioning to the 2 edition layout. So we added that to the basic edition to have it easier accessed for you. We have added several other new features and additional items to make things a lot easier in the most recent update, 10.0.3. In the rotation handle, we've added the ability to see the degree of rotation while you are adjusting it. So when you're doing a freehand rotation, you're able to see that much easier now instead of having to eyeball it. We've added in a function to set a follow the leader to a specific stride. So I can actually come in here and determine a specific stride here. So I wanted to do no more than a 7 to 5. I'm able to do this. We have added the rise over run functionality that was implemented into the line tool. We have now added that also into the block tool. 2 over 4, 1 over 3. And it's going to lock to those lock to those locations. Or let's say 3 over 1. So it's going to allow you to create that block on those angles directly. We have added more functionality to the stagger tool. Let's see here. going to set up a couple of groups here. Create a transition. Let's just move these back field. Our new enhanced stagger functionality allows you to step off by segments. So now I can actually have each segment step off one at a time. So it allows pods or smaller groups to be able to be stepped off at the same time. You can have it step off, drop off one at a time. I can have that mirrored. 1 leader per segment. I can identify each leader here. Looks like just select the leader I want. Okay. And then it applies that stagger based on the leader that you've selected. Also allows you to choose a leader by distance. What this is going to do is it's going to choose the person that is furthest away and make that leave first and continue on based on distance. I don't have enough counts to complete that in this particular example. Just extend that a little bit. Okay. Still don't have enough counts, it looks like. Let's do a smaller subsection here. I'll break it down there for you. Those are several of the most recently added and larger features of the version 10. We have added other features to the version 10. I'll have all of those features posted in this video as well, so you can look over there. If you have any other questions about the version 10, please let us know. We're going to be available all week, all on Saturday as well. If you have any questions prior to purchasing for the Pi Day special, again, the Pi Day special is a 25% discount on any purchase on the day of the sale. So if you're going to be doing an upgrade, it's 25%, or if you know someone who needs a new license, it's going to be 25% off that as well. Were there any questions about any features that we've gone over? Okay. We wanted to say that we're sorry about sorry about WGAI finals being canceled. We know all the groups that are involved in that, and the designers have spent a lot of hours on that. And we understand that it's for the better of everybody, so with the new pandemic going on, so be sure to wash your hands and don't touch your face. Have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to hearing from you on Saturday. Thank you. Have a great night.